Like, welcome everybody to the Chris and Dave's reality cast. I am one of your hosts, Chris Phelps, and my co-host and very good friend is Mr. Dave Horrocks.
Hey there, Chris. We didn't even practice that one, did we? And it just rolls off the tongue. Although it does feel a little bit odd to not be the Love Island cast. So we did tease at this in our last show, didn't we? In our Too Hot to Handle coverage. And our logo guy did not come through for us. But now, as we embark upon this new show, we're going to take the bullet or bite the bullet and rebrand to Chris and Dave's reality cast. So, what are we going to review for this next venture, Chris?
Well, we talked about it a few episodes ago. You watched something on the ITV hub in the UK called Singletown, and you wanted my sort of opinion on it. And basically, it's right up our street. It is a 15-part show where a load of couples get together, they split them up, put them into different apartments, and then see if they're still compatible because they've had issues, they've either split up or they're at the point where they want to take their relationship further. It's almost a take on Love Island with a bit of, I suppose, a bit of Too Hot to Handle, Love Is Blind in there, Dave.
I think Temptation Island for me. So the fact is they're saying to the contestants, "You're single," but really they're not. They've gone in there as a couple and have they're on a break for the summer. So, they're leading the single life, but they are couples. So for me, it's more Temptation Island than anything else. With Love Island, they go in and they're genuinely single, apart from the secret boyfriend and girlfriends they've got on the outside, But these are obviously a couple, so I don't think it's got a different feel, hasn't it? Obviously it's not on some paradise island, which makes Temptation Island, gives it that extra dimension. This is in the middle of London, cracking views, aren't they? Both apartments. So yeah, I'm thinking it's definitely something we should do. It's not that big a show, to be honest, is it? But
No.
we kind of both. I'm sure we'll enjoy it as the season goes on.
Yeah, exactly. And while we've done this, as we said just before about changing the name, just as we go into this, we do have a new Twitter handle, guys. So it's at CD RealityCast. And also, that is the same name on Instagram as well. And the email address is cdrealitycastpod@gmail.com. So cdrealitycastpod@gmail.com. Get your letters in, questions, anything. And we've decided, as you said, Dave, we decided to change the name as well, mainly because Love Island is not going to be on this year, and we wanted to rebrand it as we branch out. And we've reviewed other things because people who are listening, you guys are listening, have asked us to, and we just thought, well, to stop confusing the matter and keep on ourselves the Love Island cast when we're not actually reviewing or watching Love Island cast, we've gone with Chris and Dave's reality cast. So I hope it's not too confusing, guys, and you still stick around with us.
And we're going to keep the old Twitter, aren't we? The Love Island Cast
Yes.
Twitter handle as well. So we will keep an eye on that, but we're going to start promoting everything through CD Reality Cast. And yeah, we'll see how it goes. I don't think, as we speak, because we haven't really pushed out anything on social media yet, Chris, I don't actually think we've got any followers. I'm not even following it myself
No, we
yet.
haven't.
So we need to
I don't
get
think
on
I
that
am.
at some point. Well, no, I literally think we've got no followers yet.
We have. I've fucking created it as well. I shouldn't have done it. Shouldn't have really, um, but no, we'll see and we'll go for that. It gives us a bit of flexibility on what we want to review, don't we, Dave? We're still going to be the same mouthy pair. Well, I'm usually the gobby one more than you, Dave, but we still be as honest and as forthright as we always are. And I just hope you guys enjoy it. The one thing with this show, Singletown, is if you're outside the UK and you do have a VPN, you can get it through the ITV hub in the UK. This show actually aired in September last year, so we're going back. We don't know any of the results. We don't know anything. So if you do want to binge something, especially with us all being in quarantine and watch it with us, we are going to go episode by episode. So I think it's 15, as I said before, to cover. Get onto it, guys. And if you're in the UK, it's readily available on the ITV hub. So it'd be great for everyone just to follow it and get into it and see what you think of it. I think after Too Hot to Handle, I was so disappointed at the end of it, Dave. I'm hoping this holds my attention a bit more. And I think this could be the sweet spot of like 15 episodes could be great.
Yeah, and the fact that, like you say, it seems to be quite a small show. Like Love Island exploded around sort of season 2 and 3, didn't it? And so this one sounds, like it's a lot smaller, but hopefully it'll grow because I do really like the concept, even though, like I say, it kind of not troubles me, but the fact that they refer to themselves as single when they're clearly a couple, they've just been sort of separated for a bit. But apart from that minor annoyance, I mean, I like the hosts. So you've got Emily Attack, haven't you? So from the In-Betweeners, but she does all kinds of talk shows now. You got Joel Dommett as well. Kind of funny comedian who often appears on Love Island, After Sun, and things like that. So yeah, I think it's going to be a lot of fun this series.
Yeah, it is, to be fair. I mean, I don't mind Joel. He came second in I'm a Celeb, and him and Emily Attack actually present I'm a Celeb extra. I'm a Celeb celebrity extra camp on ITV. So there is that dynamic. I mean, her claim to fame, Dave, is that her mum. Oh, I can't remember what her mum is, but her uncle is Den Perry in real life out of. Oh my God, the Phoenix Club. You know, Peter Kay.
Oh, right, okay.
Phoenix Nights, that's terrible. Phoenix Nights, that's her uncle. And then her mum's cousin, who she grew up around and spent a lot of time with, Dave, is actually Sir Paul McCartney.
Oh,
So,
right, okay.
yeah, she tells everyone that, Dave, at every opportunity. So don't worry about that. But yeah,
And
she's a nice girl.
she was born sort of down the road from me. She's born in Luton.
Ah, was she?
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. I don't
Yeah.
know if I'm assuming she lives in London these days, but
Mm,
yeah, not really another claim to fame, but kind of close to me.
yeah. I thought you were going to say that other place that you were born in, Dave. I was going to start booing her then. But
Yeah,
anyway.
you can tell by the accent she's not from there. But I mean, we start off with the five couples, don't we, Chris? So should we
Yeah.
get into those?
Let's go.
Well, so the first ones we meet are Rob and Claudia. They're from Surrey. They've been together for 3 years. He didn't mention it on the show, but I'm sure he's the Milky Bar kid.
Oh my God. Yeah.
But I don't know. What did you make to this couple, Chris? Because I got the impression from him or from them both that she's actually the one pushing this. Quite often in Temptation Island, we see it's the blokes, saying, "Yeah, yeah, yeah, this will really test us," and seem to be a bit too keen to get out there. But it seemed to be Claudia more than him that was pushing this for me.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I think out of all the couples, Claudia is the only lady who is that side of the fence. We'll get into the other couples, but all the blokes are definitely up for sort of exploring it to see if there's a relationship there or see what they can get away with, Dave. We'll get into some of them. But yeah, I think Rob was really, really upset. They had like a bit of a video segment on the beach, didn't they? And they're talking about it. And, he looked very, very like unsure of himself and
Yeah.
really, really down. I mean, look, let's be honest, Dave. I think he's punching above his weight to a little bit.
Yeah.
But in the same respect, I still don't get, as much as it's a TV show, and this would have gone out as an ad, like, do you want to appear on are you going through a rocky patch? Do you want to appear on a show to see if you're the ultimate couple and you can stand the test and all this shit? And one of them's obviously applied for it. I mean, I'm pretty sure, I could be wrong, but Claudia's probably got some sort of talent agency or whatever, Dave, putting him onto it. But he looked weird on camera and looked really unsure of himself, and she looked quite confident. So
Mm.
I don't know, but as the episode went on, I think as the episode went on, he seemed quite up for it then. As soon as like all the girls come in, he was like, "Oh, here we go, yeah, let's have some."
Yeah, I mean, it sort of had that feel of like being on holiday, didn't it? And
Yeah,
what I'm finding interesting just from this first episode is, well, actually, do we want to talk about the end when we're talking about these two? Because obviously we go through, they get introduced to their flats, and just in case they'd forgotten about their other halves in super quick time, they've got these artistic, very flattering posters of them all throughout the flat, haven't they? So,
yeah.
I think again, I agree. He seemed to get into it, but more just in terms of like, it felt like to me he was just on holiday or he's meeting all his new flatmates and stuff. So he seemed quite sociable, but I don't know if he was ready to launch himself into the single life just yet.
Yeah, I think what's strange though, Dave. Like the dynamic of this show is interesting. Like you said, and you are right, it's a Temptation Island clone as such, into on a bit more of a lower budget. I mean, they call both apartments. One's Riverside, one's City Side, but they're literally about 30 yards away from each other in the same building, aren't they? You know, it
Yeah.
shows like a heat map of where they are. And Emily Attack's in charge of one of them, and Joel's in charge of the other one. And obviously, they're a bit like the PR for them and the host of what they're doing. I mean, it'd be interesting, Dave. I don't know as the series goes on if there's going to be like more couples coming in, but these are a couple straight away. I'll go off the bat, and I'd be very surprised at the end of it if they're still together.
I'm not sure. Like I say, it strikes me as odd that she seems to be the one pushing to do this whole thing. I don't think he would change, or go with someone else. But I don't know. I think out of all of them, I'd be on the side of this couple will stay together.
Yeah.
So there you go. There's a
Oh,
prediction
I
where
tell you
right
what.
opposite ends of the scale.
I'm going to write these down, Dave, and we're going to talk about this on the last episode. So as we go, I'm going to put them down. So I say split, you say not. Right, let's go for it. So the next couple, Dave, and this couple. Oh my god, I was really. You could see you've got Sophie and George. Now George's second name is Bird because he's got a fucking nest head, Dave. He's got the worst haircut I have ever seen, and I'm telling you, I have got a bit of a Elvis quiff going on at the moment. But this guy, if he could lick himself, he would. I mean, confidence, amazing. You've got to be confident. I respect that. But Sophie's a really, really good looking girl, and she obviously doesn't want to be here. And this guy, and I'm writing stuff down, and I just went cheat straight away against Georgie's name. I never write notes down, David. For all these fuckers, I did, and I just put he's a cheat without a doubt. He's cheated.
Yeah.
She admits that he cheated on her.
Yeah, and it's interesting because I thought Sophie was kind of a bit worried about him and being a bit clingy and whatever. But Chris, this is my David Brent for this series,
Go
clearly, because he thinks he's the man. He's like when the girls start coming in, like he walked in, didn't he? And he sees Claudia and he's like, oh, fucking hell, all my chips have come in. This is going to be a great some of this, you know. And I just think he doesn't realize how much above his weight he's punching because, Sophie is out of his league. And, the 90s rang up and they're asking for their haircut back because that Lego head that he's got on is ridiculous. I mean, he's got a bit of a Ewan McGregor look about him, hasn't he? I think.
Yeah,
But yeah, he's an odd one, but I think he's going to give us plenty of moments where you just cringe, and you think, "Oh God, did he really do that?" So yeah,
yeah.
I think George is going to be good entertainment.
I do as well. You know, it reminded me of, especially the fucking stupid drain pipe pants with the no socks and the slip-ons on. He reminded me a bit of Connor G from last year, was it? Not Connor
Oh
G,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Connor M from Love
Connor with the
Island.
teeth.
Teeth, yeah, him. It just reminded me of him, not because he looked like him, but just the way that he came in all cocky, like he was the man, and he was like, "Oh yeah," he was dressing like he was some footballer or football agent, the big
Yeah.
watch on and everything. I was just like, "Oh come on, man!" And I'm thinking, poor Sophie there. She stayed with this guy for like 2 or 3 years or whatever they've been together, and honestly, I think she's a pretty girl, and he just come across as a dick to me. For the whole episode was the same. And every time I saw his haircut, you're right, he's got a number naught back and sides, and then this massive slick back quiff, like just slick back haircut that's just there. It's not styled or anything. It's like almost look like he's got a wig on or something. It's bizarre haircut. But again, Dave, as much as I'm saying that, he might turn out to be a lovely lad, but at the moment, he was just the highlight of the show for me. I just kept, every time I saw him, I was like, oh, fuck me. And he even admitted though he cheated on the girl pretty much, and I'm like, oh
Yeah.
come on, mate, you know what I mean? Have a bit. And then if you move on to the next couple, Dave, Jeremiah and Celine,
Oh, even
fuck
worse.
me. Celine is a really pretty girl, and Jeremiah, oh my, he treated her like shit. She kept saying, you know, he's talking to girls, you know, I can't trust you. You've cheated on me in the past and everything. And you're thinking, You did, and he's walking around like he was all that, and I'm thinking, you're not all that, mate. If anything, she's all that. You're nothing, and I find it so bizarre, honestly. But great again, Dave. Great TV. I was like, oh, here we go.
Old Jeremiah here, he thinks he's Anthony Joshua, doesn't he? The way he's walking around carrying his carpets. But you know what, Chris? This couple, right, been together for 7 years. Celine is 21, right? So they've been together since she was
Now,
14 and he was
yeah,
16.
yeah, yeah.
So she's only ever been with him. He's cheated on her. He takes her for granted, treats her like shit. Like I say, he thinks he's the man, and I'm just like, oh, so I really hope this couple. In fact, we kind of forgot about our predictions, didn't we? So for George and Sophie, are you going stick or twist? Do you reckon they'll split or stay together?
Split, split.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you on that one. I think they'll split. And you know what? For Jeremiah and Celine, as dysfunctional as that couple is, weirdly, I think they might end up staying together.
I was just about to say, I think Celine's got a bit of a inferiority complex, a bit of confidence about. I was about to say that, Dave. He's cheated on her before, so why change the habit of a lifetime?
Well,
Do you know what I mean?
I think
So
there's a big difference, and so why I've got some doubt, and if you're going to say they're going to stay together, then I'm going to do the opposite to you. So because we can't just all we can't predict all the same things because we can't get to the end of the series and see who won. But
yeah,
so yeah, I'm going to say I'm going to completely go against what I said initially. I do think they could stay together, but the big difference is if there are plenty of singles that come in and start showing Celine some attention and she actually has a connection with someone, then that might give her a bit of a wake up call to say, "Oh, you know what? It's not as if, there's nothing to be feared from." I mean, she's been with him since she was 14. For fuck's sake. She's never actually been single at all. And even though, like I say, she's not really single, she's still kind of paired up with him. But I just think that might give her a bit of a wake up call, give her a bit of confidence. We saw that on Temptation Island, didn't we?
yeah.
A couple of the girls like would really. In fact, there was I'm forgetting the name now, but the couple from series one, they were bickering like an old married couple going into it, and you were thinking, right, they're not going to last 2 days, and actually because they spent that time apart, you saw them kind of grow individually and then they were stronger and then ended up getting engaged at the end of that show, didn't they? So spoilers for Temptation Island. So yeah, I'm going to say Celine will get the confidence and will leave Jeremiah by the end of the season.
Right. Okay. Then. Well, I'm going to give you first dabs on the next one then. So we then meet Natasha and Luke. Now, Luke cheated on her all over the town. She's basically admitted that. What I find ridiculous is that Natasha is a lovely girl. She just wants to get married,
Yeah.
have kids. You know, I mean, she's 24, he's 29. And it looks, and I could be wrong, but it looks like she'll accept anything as long as they get married and have a kid. And I'm like, and I could just, he just come across, he's got his trainers on and everything. Like you know what I mean? I was like, you're 29, mate. No, you can don't wear trainers, but the way he was dressing like he was 16 years old or something. You know, comes into this big apartment, not even dressed up and that. And I'm like, no, I'm not feeling you. And again, Dave, you're right. He had the full he was on. He had the full carpets walk. Then he going in and stuff. And he could be a lovely bloke because he was talking later on to a couple of them two sisters, and he come across actually okay. I'm not saying it's right if he was trying it on or anything, but he come across. But when he initially come in, whether it was a nervous thing, I was thinking you're a bit of a dick. But Natasha, lovely girl. However, I don't think she's got any self-esteem as far
Yeah.
as I can say. I think he's treated her like shit, to be honest.
Yeah, I think you're right. I basically, yeah, she's after getting married and he's not asked.
Yeah,
So I don't know, unless he has some massive wake up call. I think he's quite happy with his kind of non-committal approach to life. So
yeah,
I, I, I don't see good things for this couple. Again, I think if Natasha goes on a couple of dates and then she ends up like getting a bit of attention from other people and realizing, it's not Luke or nothing. Um, I I think she'll get that confidence, and so she'll end up leaving as well. So no, no hope for this couple, so they'll split.
Right. Well, I'm going to say stay then, Dave. So we'll go with that. Um, Now, also, you mentioned Temptation Island. I think a good point. Just the vibe I'm getting off her is, I think it might have been the first series, but there was a couple there where this lad basically his dad had I think his dad committed suicide. He looked really on the edge. He had very deep sunken eyes. You could see he had a lot of pain behind his eyes. And he was with this girl, and this girl was like really slim. Like you said, she went crazy in the house for a couple of days. But literally, he had cheated. He wanted to split up with her like hundreds of times, and every time she'd pull out the "I'm gonna, hurt myself" and all this, and he ended up cheating on her numerous times to try and get the point across. I don't condone that at all, because he's not only messing with her, he's also messing himself up. But in the end, he just had to get a break. Then he was someone and leave. And that's what I'm
Mm.
wondering whether, as much as I'm saying this about Natasha, I'm not saying she's going to hurt herself. And what I'm saying is maybe Luke does these things because he doesn't want to be with her. That's the vibe I get. I'm not talking to the
Yeah,
extreme of that Temptation Island, but I'm wondering whether he does it just to say, just go. I don't care. I don't know. We don't know the full background, do we? Because they are acting at the moment. The mask will drop as the show goes on.
yeah. I think you're right. I think he's just, like you say, the way he dresses and stuff. I think he's just quite happy with he's all right being in the relationship, but equally he'd be all right not being in it as well. So the cheating is just, it's just an indicator that he's not really asked. And so, yeah, I just hope Natasha does get that self-esteem and leaves him.
Yeah, exactly. And then if we go on to our last couple, Dave, we've got Elliot and Charlie. Now, both of them have said that they were cheated on in the relationship. They both cheated with other guys. Both of them looked sort of a bit down in the dumps, sort of a bit unsure of what's going on. And I don't know. I mean, it seemed quite genuine, and there seemed something there when they were talking. But the fact that there's a bit of cheating going on, I
Yeah.
mean, every fucking couple is cheating, Dave.
Yeah.
I felt sorry for them. I was thinking, well, what are you going to gain out of them? And then when the guys come in to sort of make a beeline for them at the end, it was too forced, I thought. And I think Charlie had said, like, oh, the guy was talking to, like, oh, I don't mind this guy. But he was sort of like, as if to say, well, I don't mind him, but he's not Elliot, but he's probably a nicer person than Elliot. So I don't know.
Yeah.
The dynamic of that relationship was very strange, but just because there just didn't seem to be any trust on either side, it looked like they
Yeah.
both. Whereas with the couples we mentioned before, one of them had cheated, as far as we know. Obviously, that might unravel, and it's like, you cheated on me, and I've got over it, or whatever. But at the moment, they both admitted that they'd openly cheated, and you think, well, why would you still want to be with that person? So I'm interested in how that dynamic goes, because what Charlie said he just felt bored in the relationship. It's
Yeah,
just
yeah.
like, so interesting.
It will be, and I don't honestly have much hope for this couple either, Chris. It
No.
just there seems to be too much wrong with it. Both both parties seem like, well, we'll sort of stay together, but we've got massive doubts. And so can I just say as well, though, so well done to Singletown. I see, having a same-sex relationship in there as well. We had a brief flirtation with the idea of it on the Australian Love Island, didn't we, with Phoebe and, was it Cassie?
Cassie, yeah. Our mate Cassie,
Fucking
yeah.
hell, that was a reach, wasn't it? How the fuck did I do
Well
that?
there, Dave. Yeah.
I can't remember many other things, but strangely, I remember that lesbian kiss. The names. So anyway, moving swiftly on. So yeah, I think it's brilliant, and but unfortunately, yeah, I just don't see this couple working, and I think they'll go off and find other connections elsewhere.
Yeah, I think so. I think so. So what you saying, they're going to split?
They're gonna split, yeah.
Right. Well, I'll say stay, and I'll be fucking amazed. I'm only doing this to go against.
So we'll have to put a little table together, won't we? Because I don't know if
Yeah,
you're writing it in pen and
I'm
paper
writing them
there. So.
down. I am at the moment. I am on pen and paper. The
Now,
Chris Felt special.
after we'd introduced the couples, like say it's like meeting your new flatmates and everything, we get on to so Emily's sorting out a brunch, and Joel is sorting out a house party. Now I can't help but feel that the house party was better, because that was straight in there, wasn't it? The night, in the evening, and then obviously we see from the other house, the guys who aren't in the house party, the ones who are having the brunch the day after, they get to see little updates about, who's speaking to who across in the house party and stuff. And so I thought that was an interesting dynamic. And so, you know, few people getting a bit upset there, and at the idea of feeling vulnerable like that. So, I mean, what did you make of that house
It's
party,
just
Chris?
there to basically show a bit of shit in it, but like it is really, as you
Ruffle
say
some
it, Dave. It's
feathers.
Temptation Island because Temptation Island they give them all an iPad and you get all the guys around the fire with the presenter, all the girls around the fire with the presenter, and they just show them snippets, don't they, of something that's gone on, and it could be something purely platonic. It could also be something like in Temptation Island where there's actually a threesome going on and they showed the guy's girlfriend, which is fucking
Fucking hell, that
horrendous.
series
Yeah.
2 is
Unbelievable
unbelievable.
work, Jeff. Yeah, you're damn right. But
Can I just take a brief aside though? I think that couple where the guy goes off and has a threesome, that fucking couple are still together, or at least they were. I think it was in December because, like, in the reunion, they were clearly together, and he was just still lying through his back teeth about what he'd done and stuff, and I just couldn't believe
yeah,
it.
unbelievable. Yeah, yeah, I
Do you
remember him.
remember
I can.
the
Yeah,
blonde one? Was it
yeah, and
Kate or
he had
something?
like black slick back hair, didn't he? Almost like a man bun type thing. He loved
Yeah.
himself. He was a good looking guy, but yeah, very. And he wouldn't even have it in the reunion that he'd done anything wrong. I was like, hello, it's on fucking
No.
camera.
It was
Yeah,
bizarre.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But anyway, sorry, brief aside. Yeah, yeah. So that I agree. This is Temptation Island, isn't it? But done
Yeah,
in
yeah,
London.
which is fine. Whether it's as controversial, I very much doubt it, Dave. I think one thing with the party was it was all a bit too predictable. The only thing we got at the end as a cliffhanger was George is in a bar, Inti, and he's with Claudia, and Rob. Sorry, not. Yeah, George is with Claudia, and then Rob comes back with Sophie, which is obviously George's girlfriend, and you see George bolt to the door like he's going to chin Rob. So, and
Yeah, yeah.
obviously, I haven't seen what goes on, but it was quite an interesting way to do it because he looked proper because she was crying as well. So you're thinking, oh fucking hell, what's going on here?
Yeah, and I don't know if it's a budget thing, but one thing that I'm not really a fan of is the fact that they know that they're in the same building. Like, it would have been funny if at the end of the series they'd have said, oh, by the way, you know, all the things that you've been hearing about, all the clips and everything, it's just down the road, basically, or, across the hall. I think the fact that, you know, the way I guess it is Joel and Emily can get together, have a chat and stuff, strategize, about how to mentor the different people. But I like in Temptation Island that they're just completely separate and that the only contact is through these little snippets that they're fed by the producers. So yeah, this I don't like, but obviously, Chris, as we love, we're obviously going to get a bit of
Yep, not wrong
drama.
with that, Dave. Not wrong with that at all. I think it's a good episode. I think, like you'd said, just have a watch of it, and straight away I was in on it. I was like, yeah, this is the sort of stuff that I like. Just nonsense drama, over anything. And the thing is, Dave, that most of them we're twice their age, but you just get sucked into the shit, don't you? I'm thinking, why am I so
Yeah.
bothered about these people? But you do because it's just reality TV. It's fucking ridiculous, but that's what I love, and I know you're unfortunately, Dave, you're going that way now as well.
Yeah. Well, I think he's coming on and now, chatting with you about it and taking the piss and stuff. That's what I love about it. So, yeah, no, decent episode. I mean, it gets rated pretty poorly
Yeah.
actually, doesn't it? It's like 4.4 on IMDb or something. But no, I thought it was good fun and definitely can't wait to get onto the second episode.
Yeah, we're watching that this afternoon, actually, Dave. So thank you, Dave. As we get in our new rebranded show, if you want to contact us, guys, at CD Reality Cast on Twitter, cdrealitycastpod@gmail.com. And as always, if you do get a chance, please get onto your podcast catching up and just drop us a review on the show. As always, the podcast feed will not change. We'll just be changing the name. So if you are subscribed to us, do not worry that you're going to miss any episodes. Them episodes are still going to be there. It's more the social media stuff, and Instagram, as always, is CD Reality Cast. So get in contact with us over anything. So, Dave, new rebrand, new show, exactly what we want in this lockdown, my friend.
Awesome. Well, let's get off. Let's watch well, not me and you, but let's get away. Let's hit. Oh, fuck.
You know, Dave,
Got
we'd
myself in a
be
muddle
split
there.
up straight away if we were together.
I think we practically are, according to Sam, aren't we?
Yeah.
But anyway, let's watch episode 2, and then we'll probably release our podcast review in a couple of days from now.
Yeah, good stuff. Take care, everyone.
Bye now.